connect with Cunita. In Español, Cunita is cradle, right? Cradle. Rocking really is the heart of what they are wanting to tap into there.
You don't often hear it referred to as a rock step.
Exactly right, yes. And one of the reasons why is that, if you remember from our intention video, the Cunita has that image of stepping into cushioned, soft foam rubber that we sink into a little, but then we also rebound out of. And it, just reminds me of like those little rides that are on the spring on the playground where you're just rocking back and forth. Yeah, so if you can really kind of embody that imagery as we are going into Cunita, kind of help with your body movement.
So, how do we get into and out of the step?
Yes, that's a good question.
The intention, once we have started it, is rather than going across the floor as if we're going to continue walking, I'm going to send my center of gravity down into the floor, both forward and back. Notice, you don't want to do what I did a little bit when I'm going back. I don't want to be going away from my partner, and similarly, if I'm going forward, I don't want to be going over my partner. We need to maintain that nice embrace throughout, the so important connection to our partner where, well, we should do it together.
So if you notice how Arjun and I stay very well connected up through the top as we're doing this. We do want the top unit to be moving together through with the couple. One of the ways that Arjun accomplishes that is he maintains the tone in his frame. Watch out for allowing that frame to get lax as we are going through this back and forth movement.
And now the ever important, when you start a movement, how to get out of it. Sometimes we get stuck.
Yes, yes.
So we have a couple, at least a couple of options.
To start off with.
I can, rather than rock back, I can simply come up to our axis, our collection point, and we can then either start walking, or any of the other range of possibilities that we have.
Go ahead.
Or, say I have gotten onto that back foot, I can use that as the wind-up to then begin walking.
So one of the clues that I get from my leader, not only I feel the loading of that back heel and that intention, that energy really starting to build to then follow through with, but also he stays nice and low. Whereas when he wants to come up to axis, I feel that raising up, that almost going back to neutral, that inhaling or filling the lungs, if you will. If I don't get that sensation and he stays nice and low, I know one of two things is going to happen. Either the movement's going to continue, or if you notice, the feet have also not collected as well. So if the feet stay open and he is stopping the movement while the feet are open, that gives me another clue that it's possible that he's going to utilize that step to move forward afterwards.
Yep. Now, that you know everything there is to know about the Cunita, let's explore how we can explore the movement, both as a solo and with a partner. Now in solo, one of the ways that we can explore anything is to recognize the range of possibilities. So what are the range of possibilities here? Well, one is the size. How deep we go, how far apart the legs are. We can also vary the speed, and that can also be related to the size. So if it's a very big size, I can't very well do that fast.
That would be hard.
Yes. So with a small one, I can do that in a very rhythmical fashion. A large one, we can do that slowly, going with the lyrical music.
So one of my favorite ways of exploring the range of a movement's possibilities is to put on a song and try to repeat that movement over and over again, but with the express idea of how can I alter the size or the speed of this to directly match what's going on in the music.
Beautiful. Yeah, for me personally, connection to the music is our guide as a couple to how we can express what we're feeling in the music. Now, with a partner, that's our opportunity to explore those important subjects of, one, getting into it, getting out of it.
We can also begin to explore amount of rotation within this. This doesn't need to just be a linear move that we do in place. We can actually have the opportunity, much like we did in our move video, to rotate this. And that can be a lot of fun as well.
Yeah. Would you like to show?
May I? So, we can take this very small and just a little quarter of a turn. And this is a nice way to just readjust perhaps your line of dance, get yourself facing another direction around the floor to avoid other couples that have stopped on the dance floor. We can also utilize this to get some rotation. This is my personal favorite way of doing our Cunita. We can also incorporate quite a bit of more rotation as we rotate around the floor, which is a lot of fun. The key to this is that we want to be rotating in the direction of whatever leg is forward. So,
Plus,
yes,
allowing our foot, our shoe, to pivot on the floor, to twist on the floor. And we're going to have an entire topic dedicated to that later on.
yes, absolutely. So some key things to make the rotational one work smoothly with a partner is, like we were saying, rotate into the front leg. If you would like to go the other direction, just change your legs and rotate into that one.
Now, why are you switching legs?
Good question. So as I rotate into my forward leg, if you'll notice, this creates a twisting action, which our bodies love. It gives us a nice, good structure. It almost loads that coil or that spring, if you will. So if I'm rotating towards my front leg, everything gets tucked in and twisted nice and neat. If I'm rotating away from that front leg, notice that everything starts to open up. And as dancers, we're not big fans of that. So make sure that you're rotating in the direction, and feel free to experiment with that. Feel what it feels like to rotate into the opposite leg. Does it feel as comfortable? Are you able to produce the same result? Much like we've talked about, many of our favorite dance moves come from mistakes or stumbles or, oh, let's just try this and see what happens.
Yeah, and even if something is so-called wrong, it can be useful to explore it, to realize that, oh, this is what happens when I start getting into that, and oh, that's what I can avoid when I'm doing the dance that I want to do.
Yes, absolutely. Sometimes just as much of what you don't want to do can inform you as to what you do want to do. So not only exploring the twist, but exploring the amount of rotation that you can get in between, exploring the size as well as the speed of this movement.
Great. Next up is the robote, and we will see you on that card